What's going on, everyone? Raider here. Hope you're all doing great and having a fantastic day. In today's video, we are unboxing and taking a first look at the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra in titanium violet. I am super stoked to get this bad boy unboxed. We're also going to be covering a couple concerns from the community, like the S Pen sticking out a little bit too far and the anti-reflective screen causing the colors to wash out a little bit. We'll see if those two things are true. We'll also cover all the specs, and we're going to cover my first impressions of this device. Being a diehard S23 Ultra user for the past year. Love this phone. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I am super excited. I'm always pumped up for these unboxings, even though I get trolled every time. Let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. All right, we got this bad boy going here. I've got the 512 gigabyte edition. I will say Samsung really shipped out orders super fast for those of us that pre-ordered this year. Here we go with the trolling. The trolling begins. It does every unboxing. Because I use the dumbest cutter in the world, I really need to upgrade this, but we're keeping the tradition alive of me getting trolled every time. All right, I had to take this off camera and go get a real knife. Needless to say, it'll probably be the last time you'll see this in a video. All right, here we go with the titanium violet S24 Ultra. Let's go. All right, in the box like we expect. Not too much. Let's get this stuff out of here. I'm always in a hurry to just get through the little odds and ends, right? Our standard USB-C cable, SIM ejection tool, nothing new here. Can't say I like that, nor does anyone else that's reviewing these phones. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. Let's get that out of here. Wow, I am digging that color. Wow, I gotta say, I am not a fan of purple. Took a chance here because I really like the camera rings, that two-tone look, just like the orange one as well. That's a Samsung exclusive color. Titanium gray and the black are also really cool options in my opinion. I like all the colors this year. They're pretty subdued, except this one really stands out with these camera rings. I like that a lot. Let's compare that to the back of the S23 Ultra. Yeah, look at that. I'm digging it. I'm digging this purple too. It's really dark, and if we look here in the light, look at that. It almost gives it a nice gray look. I am definitely digging that. The side rockers here, the side feels about the same. Let me see here. Actually, I'll say it feels a little bit more flat, which I like. That goes with the nice flat screen that we have this year. Let me go ahead and get this off real quick. All right. Oh, I am digging this already. Not a very, reflective side here. It's really matte, which I like that a lot. I know you guys are gonna like that a lot as well. Let's feel the button presses here. About the same as last year. I don't notice any difference. Up top, we'll take a look. Let's do the comparison here. Really don't see much there either. Flip them over on the bottom. Not like this is going to be a comparison video to the S23 Ultra. We'll have plenty of that coming up before I ship the S23 Ultra back. Just taking a quick look here. And let's check out this side here. Apparently it's a little bit thinner. I don't feel that in my hand, but whatever. We're going to weigh it in a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and rifle through the specs real quick. We're looking at the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in most regions, while those of you in Europe are going to get the Samsung Exynos 2400. Both SoCs are testing very well this year. This is coupled with the Qualcomm Adreno 750 GPU. We have 7 color options, 3 Samsung exclusive, 4 regular colors. Again, a 5,000 milliamp battery, and the battery life on the S24 Ultra, all the S24 line, is incredible this year. Nobody's complaining, especially when you're beating out the iPhone 15 Pro Max in mini tests. It's awesome this year as far as battery life goes. You're looking at 45 watt fast charging, 15 watt wireless charging. 6.8 inch dynamic AMOLED 2X screen, 120 Hz panel at Quad HD. That gives us 3120 by 1440 resolution. New for this year is Corning Gorilla Armor Glass, which features an anti-reflective coating. And we're looking at 2600 nits with an adaptive brightness mode. Of course, we have the S Pen, DeX, and wireless DeX support. New for this year is a 5x optical 50 megapixel telephoto shooter. UHD 8K 30 FPS recording is supported. All models this year feature 12 gigabytes of RAM. We have 256, 512, and 1 terabyte options. Those of you that pre-ordered early got a free storage upgrade. The storage speed is UFS 4.0, and just a fun fact here, that's 1.7 times faster than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Wi-Fi 7. We also have USB Type-C, 3.2 Gen. Display over USB is also supported. Bluetooth 5.3. The weight is coming in at 232 grams. We'll weigh it and compare it to the S23 Ultra. And this device is running Android 14, One UI 6.1. Now what I'm gonna do is get this charged up, all my files transferred over using Samsung Smart Switch, and I'll give you my first impressions. But before we do that, we can go ahead and address one of those two concerns right now, and that is the S Pen sticking out. Let's take a look at it here real quick. All right, we've got it out. Feels about the same as last year's. It does kind of feel a little bit different coming in and out of the device. I don't see that sticking out much. Not at all. What are people talking about? Come on now. No. I don't see it. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Looks exactly like the S23 Ultra. So I don't know. I'm seeing this online, quite a few reports. If anything, actually, I think the S23 Ultra S Pen sticks out a little bit further. But here's the thing. We have a bunch of cases coming up on the channel. I've got a couple more at the post office on top of this. So I will be checking for this issue on Samsung's OEM cases as well as these third-party ones. All right, so let me get all my info in here and I'll come back with my real first impressions. All right, we are back and I've been using the S24 Ultra for about an hour now. Amazing. So far it's been fantastic. One thing I forgot to do is weigh it. Let's do that real quick and then I'll share my first impressions. All right, we've got the scale teared off, S24 Ultra. 234 grams. Let's put on the S23 Ultra. 233. All right, hilarious. Basically the same weight. It's supposed to be a little bit lighter, but my scale's not saying so. I don't know how accurate this thing is, but it gets great reviews on Amazon. I haven't had any other issues with it before, but according to it, they're basically the same weight. All right, now on to first impressions. So the first thing I noticed was Smart Switch was really nice this year. No problems with that at all. I do want to address the issue mentioned by that viewer in regards to the colors looking washed out. I hopped on YouTube, a couple other apps. I had the S23 Ultra right next to me and I even played the same videos right next to each other. I don't notice any difference at all except for this, the reflection handling. Let me show that to you real quick. All right, we got both devices, 23 Ultra on the left, 24 on the right. We're going to turn on this light. Things are going to get super bright here, but you're going to see the difference here immediately. So we're going to take this right above the S23 Ultra. You'll notice this light is about half brightness right here. I want you to pay attention to those icons. Okay, look at the icons, how they look. Let's go up to the top here. All right, let's switch this light over to the S24 Ultra. There you go. You can still see the icons. You can actually see the little bulbs in the light a lot better. It's like taking on the light a lot better in my humble opinion. Back to the S23 Ultra, back to the S24. That's the difference I see. I don't see any difference in the colors whatsoever. One thing I noticed right off the bat is smoother animations with One UI 6.1 versus 6.0 on the S23 Ultra. Here, let's check this out real quick. Let me show you. So we're gonna go into our lock screen. You see how it just pulled up the time there? No big deal. Go ahead and go into the phone. There's no real animations there at all. And if we try this right here, you can see it kind of goes away as far as the clock. You see how that happened? Watch this, hold on. There's the clock, it kind of smooths away, but you don't see any other differences whatsoever. Let's go over to the S24 Ultra. This is just one quick example. We'll have more of this stuff when we do the full comparison. So I want you to pay attention to this image when we first turn the power button on here. Look how it kind of just smooths itself into view there. Watch this as well. So we start moving this, you can see the whole animation moving and the clock go away. Wow, look at that. That is just buttery smooth and nice looking, you know. That represents what the whole experience is like. One thing I don't notice any difference between this and last year's model though, is navigating the UI, you know, just doing all this stuff, going through your app drawer, pulling down your notifications, feels exactly the same. I don't notice any difference in speed there at all. Another thing that I've noticed that's leaving an initial first impression on me is that we have a bit of a change on how we interact with the nav bar if you're using swipe gestures. So on the S23 Ultra here, you just go like that. You know, that'll go to your recent apps. Go over here to the S24 Ultra, does nothing at all. What you have to do, instead of doing this, is you kind of have to press and hold it a little bit. So it's just a little bit of an interaction, something I'd throw out there. One more thing worth mentioning that I'm noticing right off the bat, it's not a big deal or anything, but if you rock the S23 Ultra back and forth, that's what the camera bump's doing. On the S24 Ultra here though, it's a little more pronounced. You know, that camera bump is obviously sticking out just a little bit more on this year's model. But minus those little quibbles that I noticed up front, I'm loving the animations. I love the smoothness of One UI 6.1. Do I think the S24 Ultra is a mandatory upgrade over last year's model? No, absolutely not, unless you're after that flat screen. You know, that's what it's all about for me. I talked about that in the last video. It's my main reason for wanting this device, and it is awesome. If you have any questions or comments about today's video, please drop them down in the comments section below. A lot more content coming up on the S24 Ultra, primarily comparisons with last year's model, like this first week before I have to send it back. Appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.